I'm going to keep that in.
You better.
Hey guys, Jeff and Alyssa here. One thing we wanted to talk about this week is actually something we don't get asked often, and that's because it's most commonly overlooked as something very powerful in a relationship, and that's whether you either speak life into your spouse or into your boyfriend or girlfriend, or you kind of speak death, or you don't speak well of them, of your boyfriend or girlfriend or your spouse. And I know you have a lot of thoughts on that, and I love what you have to say on that. So what would you start with?
Yeah, I think it's very common, maybe more with women, about, you get talking and you're talking about your boyfriend or your husband.
With your girlfriends.
And with your girlfriends, and it's really easy to talk really poorly of them, whether you're gossiping or slandering or complaining about him in front of your girlfriends.
Yeah, sometimes it's not even very direct. It's just kind of like little comments about something maybe you
that
don't like
just
about them or bother you.
Yeah, that just tear down at them or don't give a good light to them. And I think we as women especially just really need to be careful of that and making sure that you're honoring your husband or your boyfriend with your words. Speaking well of them, giving life to a situation, and not that you can, I think there's a line. It's not that you can't be honest, because things are going to be hard, and obviously they're going to do things that you don't like that they do.
Yeah.
But not just really checking your heart and not complaining about it or bringing that up in that setting. If there is something that's really bothering you about them, then to have an older couple that you both agree on, that you both really love, is in marriage. Dating, it's a little different. But that you both really agree that are for you, for your marriage, that you can go to and talk to and be like, hey, help me understand the situation. How do I, work through this situation? But it's not a time to go and talk about your girlfriends with it. And then like everyone like bashing their husbands together. I think that's really dangerous. And then you go home and you suddenly don't like your husband even more because you've been bashing him. But I think in dating, I think it's a little tricky, because I think sometimes there's something that does bother you, but you don't want to tell people because you're afraid that they won't like them, or maybe it's an unhealthy situation, but you don't want to talk about it. And in that instance, I think it's different. Not necessarily that maybe you would talk to your girlfriends, but going to someone older that really loves the Lord, that is full of wisdom, and telling them all these things, because you alone can't bear the weight of it and keep it in you. But talking about it, working through things, and maybe there are some real red flags that need to be addressed or that you need to break up about.
Yeah, we're not talking about red flags here, which I think is a good point. If it's a red flag, meaning if he's doing something or she's doing something that is actually detrimental to you as a person, you probably just need to break up. That's not something that you need to worry about. Oh, I shouldn't tell. I mean, this is the worst example possible, but it's like, oh, I can't tell my friends that my husband abuses me. No, tell your friends and get out of that, and that's horrendous and terrible, and find help. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about more just the little things of like, he leaves the toilet seat up and he's so dumb and he's so stupid.
More like words like that.
Exactly. And so we're talking about that, so know that. But Alyssa's advice was so perfect, and I love what she said. It creates a cycle, meaning like she said, like when you come home, you actually kind of start believing even more what you said out there in public. As a husband, we can do that, and as a wives can do that as well. And it's true of that with speaking life, meaning like if you're speaking well of them, you notice that when you come, like if you're basically trying to look for, I think I heard a phrase a long time ago, the gold in the garbage. Like if you're looking for the gold in the garbage, meaning the good parts even in the bad parts, then when you come home, you start to notice you're more soft about those things, you're more gentle about those things. And so what we're kind of saying is, man, talk about it between you two. Don't talk about that to other people. And then if you do have things you do want to talk about, just kind of have like a one couple outlet. And I know that's been really helpful for us, of like, we talk about it with each other, and then sometimes we go to our mentors and say, hey, I need some help with this. Can you help me walk through this? We don't really do it anymore. We do it together now. But when we were dating, when we were more not in marriage, we would maybe do that. And so just ask yourself, what culture are you creating in your relationship with your words? Are you creating life, or are you creating death with how you speak about that person, with how you treat that person, and with your words towards that person?
And I think for guys, it maybe is more common, like when you're all in a group hanging out, and it's easy to talk poorly of your wife. Like, oh, she nags me, or she does this, and like, instead really speaking highly of your wife in front of your friends. And then if something does happen that you say something that is hurtful, be humble and like text them or talk to them and be like, hey, I'm sorry, that was like really disrespectful of my wife. I love her so much. Or
there's a lot of stereotypes about that, of guys maybe with the beers and bros hanging out at the fire and just like, oh, my wife nags me, or she does this, she does that. And the cool part about the community we're a part of is like, I know me and my friends, like we don't stand for that. And so it's very much actually a culture where we all uplift our wives and build up our wives and just talk about how awesome they are. And it does something really special. And I know she does that with her girlfriends as well. And be humble and apologize. I know we've been in instances, I even just thought of a friend who did this this a little bit back, where I don't think he spoke ill of his wife, but he just said maybe, it was one of those things that was so small that we didn't even notice. And all of a sudden, I got a text 30 minutes after we left hanging out with them, and it was, hey man, I didn't love how I said this, or I didn't love how that maybe made my wife feel in that moment. And so he's like, will you forgive me? And I was just like so blown away of like that humility and that kind of accountability he was creating in our community for all of us to then rise up to that standard. And so it's simple, but it's something that if you implement in your relationship, dating or married, of just speak life, just watch your words, lift them up, bless them, compliment them, and encourage them. And if you do that over and over and over again, it starts really building them up. And when two people are doing that, it really creates this kind of like climbing culture of the couple that betters both of you together. So that's all I'd say. You got anything else?
No, that's it.
Awesome. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Peace. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Now, I want to give a huge shout out to one of my favorite sponsors, and that's the Lumerit Unbound program. You guys have probably heard me talk about them. They are absolutely incredible. Now, what they do is they allow you to go to the same college, get the same degree you want, but for thousands of dollars cheaper than you probably ever thought you could get it. Now, here's the cool part. Here's how it works. Whether you're in college, about to be in college, or maybe later in life you want to go back and take some classes, go to getunbound.org/Jeff. You can check out their website, and what they will do is they will personally hook you up and tailor a way for you to go to the college you want to go to and get the degree you want to for way cheaper than you ever thought you could get, around $4,000 per year, which is definitely probably about 1/10 of the price I paid per year at the college I went to. So I wish I knew about this program, but go ahead and check out the link. I put it down in the description and right here on screen, getunbound.org/Jeff. They will hook you up. They're the best. That's all I got. Talk to you guys later. Peace.